Clan. My name is Captain Eric, and I'll be your captain and storyteller aboard the astounding Alice this evening. For your safety, I do ask that we please remember to remain seated, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. And be sure to supervise our children so that way our story doesn't take any unexpected turns. Now, most people like to travel to enchanted worlds often find their way through the pages of a book, but those who like to visit in person, whether it be down a rabbit hole or with a little bit of pixie dust, often find the way to be magical or menacing. But don't worry, folks, though it looks like we're passing through the jaws of Monstro the Whale. We're actually being transported to a magical place called Storybook Land. But if you thought Monstro was scary, coming up on our left is the cave of the big bad wolf, who is constantly after the three little pigs who luckily live across the way in their three little houses. One house, of course, made of straw, one house, of course, made of sticks, and another house is, of course, made of 100% insured wolf-proof bricks. But then our story takes a strange turn, for just around the corner is the quaint English village home to Alice on our left. Well, on one golden afternoon, Alice followed that white rabbit down the rabbit hole and fell down, down, down into Wonderland, where, of course, things only became curiouser and curiouser from there. In fact, Storybook Land is filled with many fantastic places, like London Park on our right, over which Peter Pan, John, Wendy, and Michael Darling first flew, with the help of Tinkerbell's pixie dust, all the way on into Neverland, where they never, ever had to grow up. And places like Agrabah, City of Enchantment and Mystery, where a stray rat named Aladdin first bumped into Princess Jasmine in the marketplace and immediately stole her heart. Though the two were from separate worlds, thanks to the power of love and the help from a genie, they married and now live in the Sultan's palace on top of the hill. And it is in these magical places where love does bloom freely, like in the rose archways above our heads. These are, of course, the very same ones where Aladdin and Jasmine first fell in love on their magic carpet ride, soaring over, sideways, and under, all the way on to a whole new world. But while all good stories are filled with places of love and light, they also have their places of darkness and mystery, like the Cave of Wonders just ahead. Its treasure bears a curse which can only be lifted by the genie of the lamp. Legend has it that whoever frees the genie will be granted 3 wishes. So let's make a wish and see if it comes true. And of course, Snow White wished for a safe place once she fled the evil queen and came across the cozy forest cottage on our right. That cottage is, of course, home to the 7 dwarves who offered her shelter and thanks for her kindness. And just up in that corner, you might even see the dwarves' diamond mine and hear the whistle while they work. And of course, Cinderella wished to go to the ball, but her wicked stepmother forbade it, leaving her behind in that blue roofed chateau on our left. Her fairy godmother did eventually grant that wish, however, once Cinderella did not leave the ball before midnight, her carriage turned right back into a pumpkin, still there on the bridge. Talk about awkward. You know, it just goes to show you that though magic may have its limits, thankfully love does not. And Cinderella now lives with her prince in the castle on top of the hill. Yes, dreams can come true here, like wishes they can inspire our stories in Storybook Land. One can dream of a happily ever after, while others dream of drifting off to sleep on a hill of quilted flowers, like the patchwork quilt on our left, inspired by the 1933 Silly Symphony cartoon Lullaby Land, with a bedtime story to help guide the way. But folks, there is magic everywhere here in Storybook Land, even in the miniature plants all around us, which will never grow up like the enchantment of the one and only Tinkerbell. Oh yes, that's just part of what made this place a favorite for master storyteller Walt Disney, and continues to inspire new stories to this very day. Yes, stories about a mole whose modest home is at water's edge and his neighbor, Mr. Toad of Toad Hall. But I am sorry, folks, Mr. Toad is currently not home at the moment. He's off on a wild ride in Fantasyland. But don't you worry, they say that when you hear the wind in the willows, it's actually Mr. Toad off on a merry adventure. And beyond that is the kingdom of Arendelle, with the castle at bay and Elsa's frozen ice palace rising above that snow-covered mountain. It was there sisters Anna and Elsa met their frozen friends Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven, and where they discovered something even more powerful than Elsa's magic, the power of sisterly love. And in the Alpine Village on our right, we'll cover Geppetto wished upon a star that his wooden puppet Pinocchio would indeed become a real boy. And when Pinocchio saved Geppetto from the belly of Monstro the Whale, the blueberry did indeed grant that wish. In fact, Geppetto's wish is one wish that inspired many wishes throughout our fairy tale, like one wish that led a little mermaid named Ariel to follow her friend Sarah all the way to the castle coming up on our right. One that inspired Ariel to give up her life under the sea, take her first steps on unsteady legs, and to fulfill her dream of becoming part of our world. Hers is a story that begins in the shadow of her father, King Trident, in the underwater city of Atlantic on our left, that spills out into adventures that ultimately ends like all good stories with a happily ever after. And of course, that happy ending is the final piece of Storybook Land magic for us today, but of course, as we all know, the magic here at Disneyland never truly ends. So it is at this time that I do ask that we please keep our hands, arms, and fingers inside the boat at all times. Once we come to a complete stop, I will count to 3, and we will all stand up in the center of the boat for balance, so that way no one has to go falling under the sea.